even funky. And then he was talking shit about T.O., but he was like, yeah, like, I used to respect that guy, you know, woo. Because, you know, him and T.O. got into it because they put a bet down on a race.
Mm-hmm.
And Brandon never came through. And T.O. was like kind of pissed about it. And they had their back and forth.
Feels like maybe he's going through something and he's trying to lash out, and that's the only.
Well, they were all neighbors and shit.
Yeah.
So that's why I said I think it's deeper than just like the podcast. Because let's say with us, I don't feel like I would ever let this shit get in the way of friendship. It's like it's a podcast,
right?
Like,
yeah, but
that's what
know how niggas act with money.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I remember a lot about what Fred T was saying. He was like, you know, we didn't have the business buttoned up. If we would have had it buttoned up, when things come down the road, when things come down the path, everybody understands what is what because we've all signed on the dotted line, right?
Exactly.
So we can't be surprised.
And Fred was like, he wasn't gonna sign. Fred was like, he wanted what he wanted,
right?
And I guess he didn't want to give it to him, so that was that.
Yeah, I think it's really important when money comes involved and things of that
100%.
nature. You have to be on point because that could ruin friendships easy, quick.
Even my friend, I'm working with I have a friend that I'm working right now with the e-ball shit, and like a really good friend of mine. And I remember when we first started, we were just like, you know, kind of like, let's just work together. Like we don't need like a contract or anything like bonding, but you know, from his background and what he knows, and kind of just like me just being smart enough, it was just like we knew that he offered something and he brought something and I offered something and I brought something, and even though we are friends, there had to be a contract involved. We had to involve lawyers, right? So we have like a contract, and we have a contract now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like we're still great friends, but it's just like it gets to a point where like this right now may be a podcast, and then there'll be a point where it's just like, you know, as good a friend as we are, and it's like I may trust you, we need to have a binding contract. Like if this is gonna be a business, it's just like,
because if it booms and there's money being made, everybody got to take care of their families, everybody got to take care of themselves. So you feel like somebody's dogging you snaking you, then that's no good. Let's all have it written down.
I'm like,
so
big smokestack over here. Give me what you owe me.
Smokestack.
give me what you owe me.
Yeah, that's wild. I feel like Brandon Marshall. I haven't followed the story, but that sounds to me a little bit like a little envious because, bro, I'll be honest. In my perspective, they really started a trend. Athletes coming on the podcast, on the video, and like just kicking it.
I would be envious too because I feel like the pivot has taken off.
Pivot's taken off.
Like because he was talking shit about it like when they left, and on that first podcast when he brought Pac-Man in, he was kind of talking shit about it. And I knew from the way they were talking on the podcast, I knew they were talking shit about it outside the podcast. So
well, I mean, not even just the pivot, but you got guys in sports, you got music artists, hip hop
boys.
It seems very trendy for like podcasts to break up. Like that podcast, like breaking up thing is like.
I hate it.
I was thinking, bro, if you start thinking
that
about it too,
trendy.
But is that trend or is that content too?
Exactly. It could be content.
A lot of shit starts.
Some of it seems a little bit too
staged. I feel like
too serious.
When outside people get involved, kind of like with used to be my favorite fucking podcast, Mike Tyson with hot boxing. Like when it first came out, it had so much substance to it, and then like now it still has substance, but it ain't that like intimate feeling like you sitting in a room with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think Evan Britton was a good like yin and yang with Mike Tyson, but now he bringing on like Who Kid, and you know Who Kid cool, but like I don't feel like that. They don't have that same energy.
But Mike Tyson's blowing up more. It's like,
like Sebastian.
It feels like your favorite band, kind of just like.
Yeah, man.
Because I've seen it with the Mike Tyson podcast, and then you see the Running podcast. You see what I Am Athlete. I'm sure it's happened with like other podcasts. Where I'm like, what is it? Is it like friends going into business and they don't really, you know, it turns into some fun shit turns into some business shit.
It's other people even. You watch
everything is different though. What was the Mike Tyson?
Bruh.
What was the Mike Tyson part?
I didn't really follow Mike Tyson.
What you mean?
What was the reason for the Mike Tyson breakup? It was like
other people coming in saying, "Hey, you need to do this. You need to bring this guy in."
That were part of the show.
We give him this money. You get this money. Like,
yeah, see, that's what I'm thinking. It's like,
and this
it
is why
always seems
groups
like
break
money.
up.
I Am Athlete was I Am Athlete money?
Yeah,
Because the Joe Budden
It's
podcast
money.
was money.
It's all money.
And it's just like,
It's like, oh, Jay, you just started a podcast. You deserve this right here. Just give them this.
No, but it could also be different ideas that ultimately come about. Like someone
That was part of it too.
someone that wants to go single. It's like, oh, I think my music won't really gel with the group, so I'm gonna be a single artist. I'm gonna be a solo artist.
yeah.
That could be
That happens
sometimes too.
That happens.
That's
Like,
funny as fuck. I'm
Yeah.
just ready to
But it's
this
happening every
podcast
time, yeah.
blow up, and Dre over here walking in with his fucking Italian leather, and me and Tim got fucking.
Fucking sweat and shit, Crocs. Like, damn,
Bro,
bro.
you got a new flannel joint. I saw this in the store. Bro, I'm keeping you too. Don't worry about it. You got new threads too.
He owns the company. He deserves it.
So I don't deserve a jacket.
The new
I think he
Italian leather.
I ain't gonna say it.
They hide the bonus.
Yeah, on 58
Bonus.
views. Yeah, alright. Yeah, alright. The bonus.
He